Yeah, baby, all day DC. It's my episode.
Episode 4, Nerd Hype, everything DC. Let's just do this. We made it! Episode 4 of Nerd Hype. Who would have thunk we made it this far?
A new hope.
Today, DC?
Gotham. Why stretching the lore actually worked?
And what hasn't? You're right. Some things haven't worked. What started as the Arrowverse and has now become the CW DC universe.
And what looks like it's gonna be like Game of the Year and Justice 2.
And for all you people out there, all my Netflix brothers and sisters, Teen Titans coming to TBS, live action. Can't wait. Gotham, the Fox seminal TV show about
Mega hit.
a young boy named Bruce Wayne and the loss of Martha.
I've never.
And Thomas.
I'm not familiar with the story of Bruce Wayne. How did what is going to befall this kid?
According to Zack Snyder, Tim Burton, who else? How many others you got on there?
The one that they like to forget, Joel Schumacher.
Oh, Joel Schumacher. Right. So, what do you feel has been going good for Gotham? Let's start with the good first.
Okay, so I was very skeptical. Like we went to an earlier episode, I'm very much about like, yeah, you can keep with the source material, you can interpret it, but like you got to stay true to it, especially when you're dealing with origins and stuff like that. I don't have any leeway for that, so I was very skeptical when I first started watching Gotham, and when I first got into it, I'm like, damn, this is really different than anything I've ever experienced from knowing Batman. But then I started to look at it and understand it as this is the story of Jim Gordon as much as it is the story of a young Bruce Wayne.
It is. It's very much about a commissioner and a boy.
Well, at the time, lieutenant. Well,
detective.
Gordon.
Detective.
We're not up to commissioner yet. He's still working his way up.
I always consider him a commissioner in my heart.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You know.
But man, the stuff they've been able to, the villain work on that show is insane. I mean,
the whole Rise of Villains was
the Rise of Villains of the season was amazing. And I'm gonna butcher his name, so I'm gonna let you say it. The guy that plays the Joker.
I totally forgot.
I'm blanking right now. You know who he is because he's fucking awesome. He is amazing. That was probably, and I don't care, man. Everybody loves Heath Ledger. People love Jack Nicholson. That was the fucking Joker, man. Without them coming out and saying it, that was the Joker.
No, that's definitely what I've seen in this show all put together is that I've liked every bad guy, including the fake bad guys that were never in DC. I liked Fish Mooney. I'll put it out there. I liked her. I think that
when she had that contract dispute, I was actually hoping she'd leave the show. But that was
I think Jada Pinkett Smith brought something to the show that wasn't bought before.
Yeah.
I say it wasn't bought before because she was there since season 1. I think what she brought to the show was something that I hadn't seen in DC before, besides Wonder Woman, and that was a strong female character.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like somebody they could do plots around. That being said, though, you're right. The villains in itself, all those villains have, to me, been the better storyline. Personally, I love the kid, but a young Bruce Wayne for me.
You don't like it?
It doesn't grab my attention because I hate the whole.
Oh my god!
I hate the whole. Yes, Alfred. And it's very. Sometimes it feels very robotic.
Well, I mean, I feel like
that's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I think he's not. Obviously, he's not the Bruce you know him to be eventually. So I think you're seeing that transformation because of the people he's surrounding himself with between Selena and everything he's doing with that. Right. He's changing, and I like it. I like it a lot. There are a few things that I didn't like about the show so far, like. They completely changed the origin of Mr. Freeze, and that pissed me off beyond beyond all. I mean, they make Mr. Freeze historically has been a character that you felt for, that you sympathized for because of his sick wife. And his whole driving force was trying to find a cure for his wife.
Right.
and the disease that she had.
Right.
And they killed her. Well, she killed herself. And so he lost for me as a character, he lost his entire drive, and then he just became this regular bad guy. Somebody that just does stuff to do stuff. And that was never like his MO. He was a scientist, he was a brilliant man who did things that he had to do to save the woman he loved.
But you don't feel like that was his MO in the Tim Burton verse?
Let's not...
The Iceman cometh.
Why can't we not reference one of the and I put this
we can
animated, one of the possibly worst Batman movies ever made.
You are not sending me to the cooler. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe even the worst.
Yeah, unless you're judging it on puns, then it's like the best movie ever
What
made.
puns?
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. I'm like, you are a fucking scientist. That's not what happened. Like, how do you mix that up?
Can you feel it coming? The icy cold of space. Ah.
I think that it's funny that in this universe, in this Gotham universe, we're not going to tell you what time period this is.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have old cars, and we're going to have some new cars, and we're going to have flip phones.
Yeah.
But we're going to, so it was kind of weird for me because the first season almost came off as very 70s. I felt like I was watching a 70s cop show.
It's kind of, it's a little dated.
I think what they're doing now, those stories, man, like just and doing a story mid-season. That's what I like about this. Instead of doing a story for the whole season, so far this season we've had now we're Rise of Heroes. We had Rise of Villains.
Mm-hmm.
This is great, man. This is great. For me personally, it really made me like the show even more. After the Arkham season, it made me like the show even more because then I was like, wow, they're really trying to give you a lot during the mid-season break. Let's go to a whole nother storyline that ties into the last one.
Mm-hmm. I think it's great that they're introducing you to characters in a new way that you've never seen them before, because my take on Alfred is just what I saw from him in movies and what I read from him.
Right.
But now you're getting like this.
Oh yeah, now you know
Alfred
was SAS.
backstory.
Yeah. What I've come to respect from this show and the whole Court of Owls storyline.
Oh my god.
That's underlined for 2 seasons. I'm like, get with it already.
So I think that was really cool that they were able to like incorporate new stories into what's supposed to be a backstory.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it works perfectly because the Court of Owls was always around in Gotham. It was just something he learns about as an older man. So I think that's really cool. I'm excited to see where that goes. Asriel, they added in the show. I think all of it.
I wanted that to be longer, and I kind of wanted that to tie into the Nightfall storyline in a sense. I guess it will one day, maybe. If Gotham expands itself and keeps on going beyond, because they have made the comment that Batman may be a grown man after 1 season. Like, we may go from a boy to a man.
Yeah.
In 1 season in years past.
Well,
so
I can't wait.
I don't know how they're gonna age Benjamin McKenzie like that, because Benjamin McKenzie is like fucking 37 years old. He looks like he's 21. It's great. I love it. A lot of stuff working on there. Some stuff doesn't, but some stuff does. Can't say nothing bad about it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna defer the table to Will, because I'm gonna talk about something I have no idea about, and that is what's going on in CW, Flash, Arrowverse, Legends of Tomorrow.
I want to kind of give it
Supergirl.
I want to give it a new name because I feel like they started with the Arrowverse and they kind of called it because Arrow was first. Mm-hmm. And I want to give it like a new name because I feel like a couple of the shows have their own separate identity. Perfect example is Supergirl. She's in a whole different Earth.
Okay.
So it's like you can't call that the Arrowverse if Supergirl is like over in Earth 19A or something.
Okay.
So, but that being said, CW's done a great job. DC has done a great job with these TV shows, tying everything in. Legends of Tomorrow, for those of you who have not watched that yet, is a great show that specifically talks about time travel with Rip Hunter, Captain Rip Hunter, and they navigate time in his time machine ship. But the cool thing is this: they actually toss in everybody 2016 Earth, and Arrow didn't have the arm.
What?
He had lost his arms
Already?
So it was really cool because he had the beard, like he had the Arrow beard, like, and it was crazy. I was like, yo, that's hot. It was an alternate timeline though because of something they had done in the past had affected the future. You ended up with Arrow without an arm and the beard, and it was like, oh shit, this is like so like Dark Knight Returns.
Why can't they do this in the movie?
Exactly.
Why?
That's what I said. Then you have the Flash. Grant Gustin is my Flash, man. Ezra, I love you to death, brother, but you ain't proved shit to me yet, and I can't stand your costume. Grant Gustin is my Flash, man. To this day, forever, Grant Gustin will always be my Barry Allen. That's it. Hands down, the way he acts, his frame, the way he's built, wiry, but kind of stature. He has a kind of stature. He starts out as a lowly forensic scientist and has this stature of a... By the time season 2 hit around, he had the stature of like, I'm a motherfucking superhero. I love that, man. I love that. The tie-ins in Arrow to Flash, when they first started crossing over in their first crossover episode, amazing. Like, oh, where you from? Oh, I'm from Central City. Oh, I'm from... just like, just the banter between them two is hilarious because Arrow's so... And then Barry Allen's like, come on, homie, chill. Like, he's like, it goes back and forth from like, I'm a cool guy to I'm a deep troubled person. I'm very Batman-ish. And then Barry's very like laid back, chill. Then you go over to Supergirl. CBS initially had her. I don't think that CBS is well suited for any superhero show. They're too much. Their age structure is so much in the older ages, but beyond what people read as comic books. So I think it was better suited for CW. They brought her over, and then they crossed over all of them. Arrow, Legends. They were all together fighting as one crime unit, as one crime fighting unit against the evil of Damien Dark. Wow. And Reverse Flash. Amazing. Like just Eobard Thawne. The character level and the work that they put into this. Barry getting with Miss West and then having Kid Flash, man, I can go on for this for days.
That's what I wanted to ask you quickly. I had somebody make this comment. They said that the Superman on Supergirl was leaps and bounds better than Henry Cavill.
Way better.
Why?
Way better because he's a more seasoned actor and he took the role as it is in the comics as opposed to this dark Zack Snyder, I'm tormented Superman, I need to go trek the Himalayas and then work on a mining farm.
And find the ghost of my father.
Like it felt really good. And to see Clark Kent as Clark Kent, I'm here, I'm talking with the head of Catco, but I'm Clark Kent and you gotta give me some respect because I write the pieces about Superman. I'm very well known. That was kind of cool too. Like you just had these little nuances that you were like, fuck man, they hit it out the ballpark. They do really good work on that stuff. And having Deathstroke in Arrow, and then they're gonna bring him back this season. Hands down, man, some of the best stuff I've seen in a very long time. They touched on a lot of stuff. And they even have Vixen now, which people don't know. You can catch Vixen on CW.com. She has her own animated show, but she also is part of the Legends of Tomorrow now. And she has her powers come from her amulet, which tied into Damien Dark, who had his powers that came from a type of statuesque type thing that gave him his powers. So they tied a lot of things together and said, holy shit, there's a larger universe out there that you don't know about. And then they did the Justice Society of America episode, and that killed it right there for me. Because I was a big JSA fan, and a lot of people weren't JSA fans. So I was totally amazed by that. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you very much, CW, for doing what you do. Thank you, DC, for actually putting a lot of work into this. Way more work than you put into the fucking cinematic universe, or what you call the extended universe. And you should catch up. You definitely need to take a couple of.
I need to take like a week off.
Oh no, you need like 2 or 3 weeks, bro. Because Arrow's ready on season 5.
Oh no, we can speed through that.
You got a long way to go. No, you don't.
Yeah, we good.
You need everything. You need a Deathstroke storyline, definitely. Injustice 2. It's gonna be an amazing video. I don't even know if I call it amazing. Is there a better word than amazing?
Stupendous.
I guess.
I like it.
Phantasmagoric?
I don't know. I heard that on Sesame Street was the word of the day. I figured I'd work it in. I'm trying to expand my vocabulary.
All
But
right.
Injustice 2 is not a video game. It's an experience. Because
But before that, ladies and gentlemen, hype in 60 seconds. Joe, go, and we're gonna start right now.
So what's got me hyped right now, man? What's going on in Batman? What's going on in Flash right now? I never thought I would say it, but Rebirth's got me hooked, man. Doing the crossover between Batman and the Flash. The Watchmen are involved. They brought back in Flashpoint, which is one of my favorite stories. And somehow Zoom knows what happened in Flashpoint. It doesn't make any friggin' sense, but I'm friggin' excited, man, because now Zoom is gonna try to get his vengeance on Batman. And this is following up a storyline that just culminated in in issue 19 with the Bane storyline. 4 issues with Batman got his ass handed to him. Like, these are stories that are trying to get me back into comics. I didn't think it was possible. Rebirth, you're actually touching on some really good stuff. Revisit these storylines, and all those writers out there, these are great stories. Don't let them die one time. You got to revisit them. You can expand upon them. And I think it's a really interesting way without retelling a story. You can add stuff to it. And I got cut off with a buzzer.
That's it.
I filled up my time. You didn't get me.
There you have it, folks. Hype in 60 seconds. Now, back to Injustice. Go ahead.
Okay, so Injustice, right?
Injustice 2.
Injustice 2.
Injustice 2. Let's not disrespect.
Okay, so Injustice.
Put some respect on Injustice 2.
The same way you say, like, Secret Wars as like a universe, that's how I feel about Injustice. Injustice is its own universe, right?
Okay.
Now,
I can understand that.
it was a story that started in Injustice 1, the video game, about a Superman that had everything taken from him. The Joker had released, I think he used red kryptonite, I believe, and brainwashed Superman.
Mm-hmm.
That he actually kills Lois and their unborn child.
Mm-hmm.
That also had a nuke tied to her in some way that it went off and killed a lot of people, right? Millions. Pretty much all of Metropolis.
Yes.
And Superman now is like, the only way to stop crime is to take complete control, and becomes a dictator of the world.
Yes, he does.
And basically threatens all the other superheroes. If you do not follow me, you will be my enemy, and I will kill you. So, with that being said, they were able to pull some of these superheroes from a reality where that did not happen into it, to try and save them. In the end, they wound up locking up Superman, and everything seems to be restored. You still have 2 universes that are completely different, and that spawned an entire comic book series about that, right? Now they're following up with Injustice 2 and where that story goes. And it's not just about Superman. It's a story of redemption for Superman.
Do you feel like this is only a fight game?
No. This is why I loved Injustice so much, and this is why I hate fighting games on a whole.
Okay.
I'm not a big fighting game fan because it doesn't really tell a story. I mean, when it started out as a kid playing Street Fighter, it was all about just going around and kicking this dude's ass across the world, and you eventually get to M. Bison, and he was doing some shady shit, so you gotta take him out. I mean, that's what that was about. Injustice is a bigger story. It's a comic book being told out in another medium, which allows you to play out those fights, right?
Okay.
So I think it's awesome, and the whole direction this is going now is that Brainiac is what's their primary antagonist, and they need to enlist the help of that same Superman that killed numerous members of his friends to try and stop this new threat. I think it's amazing. I'm excited about the fact to be able to play as Brainiac, to play as Darkseid.
Right.
And they already showed some gameplay of that and friggin' Omega Beam special.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. Yeah, I saw that.
Fucking shoots them out into space with his Omega Beam that's going in all different directions, breaks them through an asteroid, and then he pulls them through a dimensional hole back in. Oh, and by the way, he has like a parademon that's like floating around.
Well, some of the finishing moves are pretty intense that I've seen.
And by the way, they've shown gameplay earlier with the Joker. He looks like shit, but
I'm very mad. I'm upset about that.
But I like that his finishing maneuver is the crowbar.
Right.
And referencing the killing of Jason Todd.
Right.
I thought that was friggin' awesome.
Almost lends like, did they do it on purpose? To make...
They're like, Jared Leto's not that bad now,
to make Jared Leto look good. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Blah, 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 blah. All of that chit-chat's gonna get you hurt.
This is like the first DC pattern game I'm excited about since Superman Nintendo 64. And shout out to those people out there that get that reference, because that was a shitty ass game.
That was terrible. That's why I'm laughing. Didn't you just wasn't it just a series of flying through rings?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like you flow through, and it was like almost like a virtual maze where you're flying through these different areas.
And you hit like imaginary walls.
Like there's like one level where you got to use your X-ray, but only like your X-ray meter went down. So you can actually like shoot X-rays out your eyes, but then it was like you would like get.
I don't understand it. DC has really great characters, with the exception of the Arkham series. Their games are fucking terrible,
horrible.
And
horrible.
I mean, Injustice also.
They've made a very very bad decisions early on with video games for their properties, and I think it's rough when you pick the wrong house to make it. I think they got very lucky when they made the Arkham games, and it became
hooked up with Rocksteady.
Oh yeah, Rocksteady killed it.
Even WB Games Montreal. A lot of you don't like Arkham Origins. Yeah. That's a solid game.
Solid game
with solid story.
Way better than I didn't put this out there and say that when that game came out, it was better than 50% of the games that are on the market at the time. So that's, in a nutshell, you're in the top 50% tier. Way better than a lot of that stuff. And trust me, the market is inundated with a lot of games that make no fucking sense. I mean, we could go back to my time and I remember E.T., the video game on Atari. They made a whole fucking documentary about finding where they dumped the fucking cartridges. So, it was pretty bad. But yeah,
I can't wait, man.
I'm excited. You got me excited right now.
It's going to be hype. Who's ready for Teen Titans?
Bro. And people probably like, you said you weren't a fanboy at the beginning. Listen, me, I'm fucking ecstatic. Like, this actually got me hyper than a lot of different stuff in the DC universe. Live action?
Over 8,000.
Like, this is like amazing. Hands down, thank you, Netflix, DC, Warner Brothers,
Fox,
whoever I need to talk to about this, for actually listening to the fans. You left a great animated series. One of the best animated series probably that's come out in the last 10 years dealing with comic books. Because we have animated one-off movies. DC's very good at that. They're very good at that. But to have a series that told you had the Titans from a grown-up perspective, like these kids were like going through some shit, mentally, emotionally, physically, really good show, tied in Superman, Batman, Red Tornado, Shazam, everybody in there, and now we're all doing it.
The only critique I have about it is that they're going the Nightwing route, like the older.
Yeah.
But I get it because they have to have some. TBS, I imagine, doesn't feel comfortable lending an entire series.
Well,
to
this
children. So I imagine that they felt more comfortable going with the older. As ecstatic as I am to see a Nightwing on TV, I would have or even in film, I would have enjoyed a Robin. That became
right.
I mean, you have to have Batman in there, and then that leads to all other problems.
The one thing that I do appreciate about where this is going, this was initially a Nightwing treatment. So this was, if you're not familiar with it, this script was greenlit as Nightwing only.
And it's been in the works for a long time.
Right, for about 6 years now, roughly 5 or 6 years. They turned around and said, "Hey, listen, guys, we want to make Nightwing, but we have this great idea to supplant what we've already done in the animated universe." And because Teen Titans was so popular, these fans are writing about it, writing petitions to Netflix with like hundreds of thousands of signatures saying that we want it back for season 3. You didn't end it correctly. And this is great. This is getting an opportunity to put some legs on it.
And the last two DC animated movies were Teen Titans.
Judas Contract.
The Judas Contract. The one with Justice League versus Teen Titans.
Right. Judas Contract was great.
And showed they can stand on their own. They did not need the Justice League to get things done. I'm excited to see what Teen Titans we're going to get, because from what I know so far is I only know Nightwing is going to be in it.
Beast Boy and Blue Beetle have not been mentioned yet. Those names will stand out, and I definitely
because you're not going to get Cyborg, because Cyborg's already part of.
Well, you can't get Cyborg.
He's New 52 Justice League, so he cannot be.
Yeah, he's New 52 Justice League, and I kind of agree with that, in the sense that I didn't want him to be part of Teen Titans in the animated series either.
He wasn't a kid that got caught in an accident.
I didn't feel like he needed to be there, because even in the comics, Cyborg was always like that young adult, you know. So he was always at the level of maturity. But yeah, I'm really excited. So I want to see it come on.
Could you say you're hype about it?
Very.
Hype. So thank you once again joining us for this episode.
Yeah, we talked about a lot. Gotham, Arrowverse, CWverse, I want to call it now, Injustice 2, and Teen Titans.
I'm glad we talked about everything DC's doing right in an episode.
Right, that was good. We didn't really
needed that. Needed some levity.
We didn't harp on any bad stuff. I could have said,
No, we'll save that.
Well, you know what? I'll say it like this. I didn't talk bad about the Arrowverse solely because I love Berlanti and what he does in his writing, how he focuses the writers on what to write about. There isn't a lot of negative to say about that stuff, man. When you have good writing and you have good actors, you have a great show.
This is why we purposely left out the movies, because this would be another Arrowverse.
Oh, you don't even know. This would be another.
We're trying to avoid that.
This would be a whole crop of haters that would come in and say, "Well, you're talking about Batman and Superman." Like, you know what? Shut up. Grow some balls and make your own show.
But
and
we appreciate you.
We do. Come watch though. Come watch and talk shit. I can take it. I'm a grown man.
Join us next time then.
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm Will.
I'm Joe.
Live the nerd life.
And get nerd hype.